sports is such a great opportunity that you have to learn life because you have opposition, right? Life, there's opposition. There's always going to be someone competing against you. There's always someone that's going to try to take the job you have, going to try to get the promotion you have. There's different things in life where there's going to be someone against you, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Just like playing against someone's not a bad thing, right? You're going to have to be coached. You're going to have to be instructed, corrected. You're going to have to be reprimanded at times, hopefully not too often. But you have people in your life that are coaches, that are literally coaches, but people that are coaching you in life. And it's going to happen. So sports is such a great life lesson that you're dealing with. Officials, you have someone in your life that you have things that are going to be unfair, right? There's going to be calls you want that don't come and vice versa, right? There's going to be people that treat you wrong that might, in athletics, it might be chippy, it might be cheap shots, it might be just talking garbage, trying to throw you off your focus of what you want to do. So what I want to come here is to encourage and challenge who you are by just asking you a couple questions to help you become better you. The better you becomes a better basketball player, a better baseball player, a better athlete, a better competitor for life. All right? So let me ask you this question. And I asked this football player. I've asked the football teams. It's anything, baseball, but basketball as well. Not specifically to your team, but in general. If you would say, and you could think to yourself, or you could spit out, what's the most important position on a basketball team? Point guard? Controls the ball, right? Uh-huh. All right. And what? Or center. In the block. All right. What else? Anything else?
I guess just point guard or center.
Mm-hmm. Man, that two, that small, they're getting off guard. Coach, all right. 6-man, very important, right? Well, hey, you're all right. And here's the answer to that question. The most important position on the team is your position. The most important person on the team is you and what you do. And why do I say that? I mean, someone could be here, you can be like, man, I come off the bench, garbage time. Well, what happens if 3 guys foul out and somebody gets hurt and you have to come in the game? The team is depending on you. Your position is the most important position. It's having a mindset to understand that the value and the worth that you have, your team needs. There's countless stories, and you've seen them in athletics. You've seen so many times where somebody who hasn't even been playing all year all of a sudden has to jump in and play, and it makes a substantial play in the game. Right? There's countless. There's so many stories of guys that they're prepared. You have to have that mindset that I need to be prepared because the value that I bring is important to the team. It's called interdependent. Your team is interdependent of each other. It means you depend on each other. What you do independently. Are you doing the things in practice that you need to do to be the best you? Or you're just like, man, it doesn't matter. Coach isn't even paying attention. Free throw form, whatever. Defense, get in the right position. All those things matter because the opportunity is going to come. It does come. That you're going to have to be prepared. So that should give you confidence. One, that you matter. That is important for you to understand. In life, there's going to be situations that crash right in front of you, and are you prepared to take the opportunity? You have to understand that you have value and worth that the team needs. That's confidence. The humility is you need the other 4 on the floor. So understanding once and foremost, when you walk in the door, that you contribute to the team. Are you going to do all you can where you are with what you have? It's a mindset. I want to help you and I hope there's more opportunity to speak through the season because there's a lot I want to offer. There's a lot that you glean from athletics that helps you in life. Right? So the interdependence on one another. My next question for you is, what is your purpose for practice today? Just individual. Did you even think about it? Have you even thought about the purpose of you walking in here today?
Getting better.
Getting better? Make each other. How do you do that? Preparation? How do you do all that? Okay. Give your all. What else? Compete? What's your mindset? So your purpose is to compete, to get better, to become a better team. How do you actually do that? What does that look like on a basketball court in practice? I mean, you just had a game last night. You had a game Tuesday night. You just had back-to-back games. Anybody tired? A little worn out? Well, is it easy? Think about it. Is it easy in your mind to rationalize or justify not going 100% the whole time? Where you feel there's times you breathe, all right? I mean, that's human nature. But I want to talk to you about that's where separation comes from. Doing what you have to do when you don't feel like doing it. That's where separation comes from, the mindset when you walk on a practice, come into practice, that your purpose is already established. Regardless, I'm doing all I can because my team needs me to be the very best. Because your team in life is going to be work, it's going to be spouse, it's going to be family, it's going to be all different things that you are interdependent. People are dependent on you. It's developing a mindset. Now, the separation part is this. My college football position coach said, and he gets a lot of credit. I mean, he coached Hall of Fame NFL players when he was in the pros, is this. 80% of games, regardless of the sport, 80% are won or lost before you step on the field or step on the court. Because 80% of the games, most teams are pretty much evenly matched. Right? 80% of the games, you're going to have single-digit leads here and there. But the difference is, are you prepared mentally to deal with when you don't feel like it, when you don't feel like you have the energy, when things aren't going your way? Are you doing the things, say if you're a shooter and the team's counting on you to shoot and make baskets, you're all supposed to, but you have one or two guys, that's a key thing, and they're not making it. But that's only 95% of the time during the game is you have the ball in your hand. 5%. What are you doing the other 95%? Are you setting the screens? Are you going full out? Are you doing the things, are you staying it mentally to be the very best you can, even if other things aren't going well? Because other things don't go well, right? It happens. All the facets of a basketball game in any sport, there's different things you have to do individually that help your team collectively. And some things aren't on that night, but do you have a mindset prepared? Have you cultivated a mindset that you step on the court doing all you can where you are with what you have, regardless of some parts of your game aren't excellent that day that your team needs? And here's the other thing my coach said. Your first step is your most important step. Now, basketball, what does that mean? When I say your first step basketball, what does that mean? What could that be? How about on defense?
How about boxing out?
All right. Position.
On the free throw line.
All right. Coach, what is your first step? Are you getting your butt around? What are you?
First step is find your man.
Right.
And then second is connected.
Okay.
And then,
All right. So if your first step isn't done well, because your first step dictates all the rest of your steps. Right? All right. Now, how about if you're, who's plays point guard? Okay. They're pressing. You get the ball. What's your first step? In general.
Size on the defense.
Right.
Jab stuff.
Right. Getting separation. Right. There's all these things that you're coached and taught to do, and it's so important. So when that coach told me that as a receiver, my first step was how quick I am in a position. My first step to get my hands off the defensive back's hands off of me. Then that will dictate the success of the pattern of getting separation from the defensive back, which in turn gives the quarterback an option, because the quarterback is dependent on me, tight end, other receivers, backs coming out of the backfield, of getting open to be in position. And so if I don't do my job, then no matter how much the quarterback worked with his drop step, stepping in, his accuracy, the linemen with their technique blocking, if I'm not going to be in position to catch the ball, right? And the same thing with basketball. Getting separation routine. What are you doing without the ball, right? Boxing out, right? You got a big, you got a big, you're learning how to position yourself when they get on the block, right? Your first step's the most important step because it dictates. And your first step when you wake up is the most important step. Where your mind goes. Because your mind, where you put your mind, most of us, we don't even think about it. Our feelings, our emotions, what we have to do that day, what we want to do this day, what we have to, all those things start dictating our thought process. And your mind, your body, and also your spirit are interdependent on one another. how you strengthen each one. I mean, look, think about it. If you are eating junk and you're not, you easily lack energy and you get headaches, whatever, from sugar, all that stuff, you are not going to be, one, physically the best to do what you need to do. And two, you're not going to be in a great mood, right? You're not going to have energy. You're not going to be positive because it affects it, right? But when you're healthy and you have energy, you're strong, that brings positivity, doesn't it? It's the same thing with spirits, understanding this. When I say that your position is the most valuable, is the most important position on the team, and I say that you bring something to this team that is needed, regardless of what you see, you have facts in your life. You're like, well, I'm ninth on the bench, 10th, I'm the last guy, garbage time, whatever. But the truth is, when you prepare yourself on a daily basis, like you are fighting for your job to be on a team, whether you're the star of the team, or we got 12 guys, 12, and everyone in between. If you have the mindset that I am that important and I need to continue to get better on a daily basis, the opportunity is going to come. And if you have the same mindset when you wake up, that your thumbprint right there, everyone's got a thumbprint, right? There's 8 billion people on this planet. There's not a single person on this planet that has the same thumbprint as you. To understand and know that you are uniquely created with purpose. And the purpose that God has put in you, first and foremost, is to know Him, that you may know you better. That may you understand yourself better. And to realize that He has gifted you. He's given you. And when you realize that you've been blessed with gifts and abilities, to play basketball, for one, to be able to play sport, to compete, to go on further, maybe get a scholarship, whatever it may be. And it might be in some other field, the intellect that you have to do well in school, to go farther, so in time you get the job that you have a passion and desire for. Those things, when you realize that it's a gift for you, it's for you to be accountable to it, to be responsible for it, that you have been given something that is unique and valuable because your thumbprint says so. Because there's no one that has the same thumbprint as you. It's understanding, having a mindset that the world needs me and I need the world. My teammates need me and I need them. And I bring what God has given me, and I honor God by doing the very best with what I got where I am, regardless of how I feel, regardless of what's going on, regardless if I think I should be starting the game, but I'm the sixth man, regardless of the position I play, regardless of my minutes. I had a kid, I was athletic director in middle school down the street, and had kids, kids was like, yeah, I want more minutes. I said, well, there's a couple ways to get more minutes. One, focus on the minutes that you have. Do the very best in practice, regardless of how minutes you're going to have. And when you get in there, you're prepared to do your very best. That's how you get more minutes. Right? It's the mindset, not of what I don't have, but what I've been given. And what I do with what I've been given. What you do, where you are with what you've been given. The Bible talks about 3 people getting a certain amount of money. And the money was, one got 10, one got 5, one got 2. And the guy with the 5 and 10, they both doubled what they got. Now, if someone has 10 and they double it and they have 20, another one 5 doubles and he has 10, you would think, well, obviously the one with 20, he's done more. They've done the same thing with what they have. They're seen as the same. Are you doing all you can where you are with what you got, regardless of what someone else has? Regardless of somebody else's minutes, regardless of someone else getting stats. Are you doing the things you have to do where you are with what you have? Because I'm telling you, you will take it with you with life. Because in life, things are going to be unfair. Things aren't going to go your way. It's how you respond. And you can establish that now. Make an advanced decision every day. You're going to be intentional when you wake up to be grateful for what you have, to think about what you have, and take it with you in the classroom. And here's the thing about having a strong mindset. You can't just turn on a switch, you come on the basketball court because you like basketball and you love playing basketball. You got to teach yourself to do it in the classroom, even subjects you don't like, because that is where, when you persevere and strive your mind to stay focused on something you don't even care about, something you don't like, something you're not good at, you are teaching your mind to do hard things. You're teaching your mind to focus. You're teaching your mind not to quit. Because there's going to be times, just like on a basketball court or sports, where things get too hard, it gets too tough. But you teach yourself all throughout the day by choosing to stay focused and dialed in, choose not to easily just rationalize, justify, compromise. Well, I'm not good at this sport. I just want to go play basketball. Teach your mind to be excellent in everything and only be even more excellent in everything. But you have to do your part. You have to choose on a daily basis when you wake up. My first step is the most important step. I'm gonna be grateful for this day. I'm gonna be grateful for what I have. I'm not gonna look what I don't have. I'm not gonna care what anybody else has. Every day, teach your mind that you will be the best you for this team and for the school and for yourself. But that's a mindset that you establish, a mindset that you have to participate in, that you have to think about. If you have to write it down before you go to bed, when I get up, I'm gonna establish a mindset. And here's the thing: what you expose your mind to, it gets attracted to. You expose your mind to excellence, you expose your mind to specific things, you expose your mind to gratitude, it will seek that. And just like stuff that isn't excellent, expose your mind to garbage, things that don't help you, your mind's gonna be drawn to that. But here's the thing: you are responsible for it. Take ownership. When you take ownership of it, you stop letting the world dictate. You stop letting the feelings and emotions dictate, and you start being solid regardless of how someone acts toward it, like opponents. You stay focused. The more you stay focused, the better you are for your team to accomplish the goal of doing the best as a team where you are with what you have. All right? So I just want to share that with you today, guys. There's a lot of stuff that comes to mind when I speak that, but I truly believe and know that if you take ownership just from the get-go, your first step when you wake up, your mind will start seeing it throughout the day if you do it on a daily basis. Successful people do every day what unsuccessful people do occasionally, meaning when they feel like it, when it just comes to them. If you write things down, you start establishing your identity of who you are, your mind will pick up on that. And your mind will start being, this is who I am. That's not what I'm not. I'm not that. And the more focused on who you are, the more dialed in you can be in what you do. And you'll do that much better. So I just want to encourage you, have purpose when you step on the court, because your position is the most important position. Okay? Your games are won or lost before you step on the court. It's important for you to understand your first step's your most important step, not just on the court, but when you wake up every day. Take this day. There's carpe diem is a Latin word for seize the day. It's so easy to just think you got tomorrow, you got next day, all these things. Wisdom is knowing that you have this day, and this day, what will you do with it to become the very best you? Because the rest of the world depends on it.